Hi everyone, it's Rax. Been making a bunch of build guides for the Diablo 4 expansion, and by far the most common question that I'm getting is, how do you get the Mythic Uniques for this build? Or, how do I get the really good runes for the build, or the runes to craft the Mythic Uniques? I'm going to explain to you every trick that I know, and this is going to help you tremendously if you don't understand how all this stuff works. Let's go in order, and let's start with how to get Mythic Uniques. Now, a Mythic Unique can technically drop anywhere in the world, and you can even get it via gambling. Sarah has gotten 2 Mythic Uniques via gambling, and I've gotten 0, even though I've gambled 10 times as much as her. That's how life goes sometimes. Let's talk about the bosses first. So, if you've played Diablo for a while, you will know that there's a boss ladder. There's Varshan, there is Grigor, there is Beast and Ice, there is Zir. Bunch of bosses for you to kill that give you materials to fight higher bosses later, Andariel and Duriel. These activities are by far the best way for you to get a unique to drop on the ground. Now, while uniques dropping on the ground is absolutely fantastic and is the best way to do it, it's not really the most reliable method, and that's for a few reasons. The first reason is that the pool of mythic uniques keeps getting larger and larger and larger. So, when a mythic unique drops, the odds that it's that specific one that you're looking for is very low, unless you run 1,000 of them and just get it by brute force. The other reason is the mythic unique drop rates for these bosses is, again, unbelievably low. People are reporting it's between 2 to 3% chance on a kill. I can tell you from my own experience, and I've killed, I think, more than 1,000 of these bosses, it's actually been lower than that. So it's a very, very low chance. Still, they're absolutely worth doing. They give you really, really godly uniques. There is a guide on Maxroll that shows you the boss tables, the boss drop tables. You need a certain unique, if you need a Rod of Kek W, if you need a Ring of the Midnight, whatever you might need, you can target farm it there, and that's the best way to get really good versions of those items. Another thing is these bosses drop very, very high level runes, probably the best way to farm them. So these bosses are always very much worth doing. When you mouse over each of the materials, it'll give you a hint on how to farm them. And you'll notice that usually on all of them, there is a hint that does not belong to the other ones, which is a very unique way to specifically farm it. For example, on the Living Steel, it says, drops in Tortured Gifts in Helltide. So opening the chest is how you're going to get Living Steel. For Distilled Fear at the top, it drops in Nightmare Dungeons. And for Zir, it drops off of the Blood Maiden. This is a way for you to target farm these bosses and move through it very easily. Now, there is a super godly way for you to acquire a ton of these materials. You go to the Brazier, however you say it, in Kurast Undercity, and you're going to throw in a tribute. And there is a tribute that gives you random boss summoning materials, which is the Tribute of the Titans. Now, again, you can do this solo, but if you instead team up with a bunch of people and rotate these tribute of these titans, these Kurast Undercity runs are very, very quick. And they give you a ton of boss materials for doing this. This is by far the fastest way to fill up your inventory with all these boss materials. And then again, sharing is caring. Shift P for the party finder. And make a party. Share them. And you will get the most bang for your buck. Some people don't want to do solo. That's completely fine. This season, in Season 6, there's a Seething Opal that you can activate, where enemies routinely drop Artificer Stones and boss summoning materials. This is very strong. I would recommend do very short activities, or activities where monsters drop their loot right away. So Pit and Nightmare Dungeon are good. Helltide is good, whereas Infernal Hordes would be bad for getting these boss summoning materials. And this is another way to really rack up a bunch of these kills and get thousands of them done. So that's how to get mythic uniques on their own. Just to drop on the ground, boom, you got your Shaco, you don't have to worry about anything else. This is not the reliable way to do it. The real reliable way to do it is via crafting. And this is where I think our friends that have not purchased the expansion are going to suffer a little bit. But there's 2 methods of crafting. One method requires 2 Resplendent Sparks. We'll get to Sparks in a second. And a ton of gold to craft, again, a random Mythic Unique. So, again, getting the random one, the chances of you drilling the one that you want, not so good. But it is a way to get one, and Sparks are very easy to acquire, as I'll explain in a second. The much better way to do it to actually get the item you want, let's say you need a Shaco, is to go here and use, again, 2 Resplendent Sparks, and you're going to need 18 total runes as a sacrifice, and then you get it. So, have you ever been to this interface and said, well, this interface sucks at the bottom because it says I need a bunch of runes, but I don't know which runes I need. Right-click it. Right-click it, and it will tell you exactly what you need. You need 6 Eoms, 6 lakhs, and 6 tons. This is why Eoms are so expensive. That's the legendary rune that you need for Shaco. This is why the price of these on the trading sites is so high, because Eoms are godly. So, how do we get Sparks, and how do we get the runes? Let's start with the Sparks. This is trivial. Anybody can get 2 Sparks. It's super easy. So, the easiest way to get your first Spark is just to complete your season journey. You hit U, you go to season journey, and at the end, you're going to get a cache with a Resplendent Spark. None of these are too terribly difficult. Just read through the quests, get a Spark, and you're done. The second easiest way to do it would be to kill the tormented bosses. You're supposed to get a Spark on a torment boss kill. A lot of people have reported that they didn't get one. It's a mistake. They tried to fix it in the patch. They fixed it for some people. Some people are still reporting that they didn't get their Spark. Blizzard will fix it. The other way you could do it is by going to kill Lilith. Now, for those of you that have said, oh my god, I can't kill Lilith, this is terrible. Remember, you only have to kill her on T1. And T1 Lilith, if you've got a decent build made from Maxroll, is pretty much going to be instantly killed. Like one punch, gone. Dead. So as long as you can dodge the fireballs, which I guess is the hard part, you get a Spark. So between those 3 options, you should be able to get 3 Sparks. Even if you're a casual, don't have a lot of time to play, not a problem. Beating the season journey and killing Lilith on T1 is very achievable. It is nowhere near as hard as you had to kill her before in World Tier 4. It should be significantly easier. So that solves the Spark part. So then the $1 million question is, how do we get these runes? Specifically, if you want to think about it as a simple problem, how do you get the runes? How do you get the Eom runes? So let's start again with the Kurost Undercity. There is a tribute that you can put in here instead of the boss summoning materials that will drop runes. Let's see if I have one on me. This is it, Tribute of Harmony. Same exact thing. Plug it. You can share it in a group with a party finder. Everybody plug your Tributes of Harmony. You're going to get about 4 runes per run. These runs are quick. 4, 4, 4, 4. You're racking them up. It's pretty easy. The other method is how we've already talked about, doing the boss ladders. Those bosses are an excellent source of legendary runes. Look how many runes I have. This is mostly from doing bosses. I haven't ran like a single Harmony tribute. I've been doing the bosses instead. And you can see I already have 6 Eoms again to craft my 5th Shaco. And I've just been handing them out to people for free. Here, you craft your Shaco. Take this, take that. So the boss ladders are a very effective way to get at least the rare ones. World bosses are a super, super good source of these. I don't know if there's a world boss spawning here. And I've complained to Blizzard a million times that their world boss timer is just not super great. It is an icon here. Sometimes they point it out here. It was just like a big, glowing, pulsing icon that was just drawing your eyes to it. Because world boss, real easy to kill. Very good loot. Very, very has a high chance to drop some very, very nice runes for you. It's absolutely worth doing. You can also craft runes. Let's go back to the jeweler. The jeweler's not done yet. There's more things that you can do. Go over here. Okay. We go to the rune crafting. Okay. And if you want to bring your runes over here, you can use this to craft a random rune. Now, when you get the lower runes, you have a chance for it to level up. So if you're moving 3 yellows back and forth, has a chance to level up into a legendary rune. Now, the question that you're going to ask me, which is very logical, is, okay, Rax, I have all these legendary runes, but really I need eoms. Should I go through here and take 3 of them and combine them and keep moving them around until I get an eom rune? You can. That is not the most efficient thing that you're supposed to be doing. What you should be doing is trading. So you'll notice that runes are not bound to you. So if you go to whatever your favorite trading site is, like Crimson Market, for example, a lot of these runes have a lot of value because, remember, not everyone is trying to craft a Shaco. Not everyone needs 6 Eom runes. Someone might be trying to make a Tyrael's Might. This costs Lith runes. You could also just go in chat and say, the way that I like to ask is, what legendary runes do people need? Let them tell you what they want. Someone will say, oh, I need Lith runes. Or someone will say, I need back runes to make my Shroud of False Death. Then you just offer, oh, hey, okay, let me check it out here. Oh, yeah, I have back runes. I need Eom runes. You want to trade? And you can usually trade them 1-to-1, either by going to Crimson Market or just by chatting with people. You want to know what, man? I'm streaming every day, all the time, all day long, and there's thousands of people there. I don't even care if you use my stream as a trade channel. You can literally go in there and just say, hey, quick message, guys. I've got back runes. I need Eom runes. Anybody? Just add each other. I don't care at all. We talk about Diablo all day long. You can also use my Discord, by the way, if you want to make trades and just make a post there. Anything. Trading is the better way. You don't want to interact with people. You want to do everything yourself. People suck. I get it. Then I guess just make sure that you set aside. Okay, here's how I would do it. If you're doing it by yourself and you're going to use the runes to craft them up, go to the jeweler and look at the Mythic Uniques and look at the Maxroll guides and make a note of all the Mythic Uniques you would like to have. You want Tyrael's Might? Lith runes. And you want a Shaco, you need Eom, and Shroud of False Death, you need back. Okay, so you go over here, back. We're going to set it aside. We're going to go Lith. We're going to set it aside. And then Eom, I think, is right here. Boom. Now you can take the rest of them and mix and match them. If you're 100% sure you don't want those mythics, let it fly. Who cares? Okay. Let me just double check my paint. I talked to you about crafting them at the jeweler and how it costs 2 plus no runes for non-expansion. They get kind of screwed. It's a random chance. And you get 2 Resplendent Sparks and the 18 runes that you need. And then, of course, how do you get the legendary runes? Kurost Undercity, doing the boss ladders. This entire tab that I have, the whole thing, is only from killing world bosses and going through the boss ladders, the Grigors, the Seers, the Andariels, the Duriels, this whole thing. And I've crafted a lot of mythics, and I've given away a lot, and I still have this many. Yes, I'm a loser and I play all day, but you can do it too, at least enough to get 1 copy of your mythic. World bosses is very good. We talked about the crafting, and trading is actually the better option than combining. I think that covers it, guys. If you have any remaining questions, stop by the stream. I'm always available. I always want to help you guys. You can get the Mythic Uniques that you need, and it's not as daunting as it might seem. Just follow the steps that I've given you here, and I promise you, you will have it. Thank you.